ladies and gents, how you doing? You join me, AndyManCam, very shortly after I've just finished the trip around Scotland with the folks, and my journey home to Hamburg now begins. We've just left Scotland, we're now cruising down the A68 through the northern English hills, and I think we're about to run into the Pennines. Hopefully we're not going to run into that horrible cloud over there, that's disgusting. No thanks, love. So get yourself a cup of tea, make yourself comfortable, and we'll see what the journey brings us, shall we? There's definitely going to be some noisy pipes, that's for sure. Turning right on the A6079 to Hexham, for those route followers among you who maybe want to come and retrace the steps of this hopefully astonishingly enjoyable ride across England, as I head first of all back to my dad's gaff in Cambridgeshire, but via the Pennines, the Peak District, the Yorkshire Dales and everything in between. Although of course the first order of business really ought to be a fuel stop. Fuel lights flashing, got about 30 miles to go, and sadly we're now barreling straight towards that horrible black cloud. That's just a story of my life, isn't it? Are these chaps dry or are these chaps wet? They look dry enough. Roads don't though, which at least means that the rain's going in that direction, hopefully. Oh, that's a good start. Jinking to the left. My good lord, what a colour. You wouldn't happen to be a hairdresser, would you, darling? Not that I shall ever need your services ever again. Oh, can't stay behind that for too long. Bloody hell. Yeah, the air is taking on a very chilled edge right now. The weather is about to go south as we pull into the village of Wall. Which reminds me, I've just seen a sign for Hadrian's Wall, which we very well might see at some point. Because I can't quite remember if Hadrian's Wall was made to keep the Scots in or the English out. How did that work? I mean, Hadrian sounds quite Scottish. So this is us just skimming the edge of Hexham on the edge of the North Pennines area of natural beauty. In typical mountain range fashion, there's a big black cloud over the top of it. Hopefully, she's holding on to her wares until we get past. I doubt it though, but never mind. It's not like it's going to be the first time we've gotten wet. Probably not like it's going to be the last. Yeah, that's it, mate. Get a good look at my sexy two-wheel bitch. Don't touch! Oh, no, no, no! I think we'll take a left up here. How about we get into the hills? What do you say? Rather. When the rumble rhythm starts to play, hold me close, make me sway, like a lazy ocean bugs the shore. Hold me close, sway more. Why is that in my head? Is it the swaying, undulating hills? It is the rolling, sweeping roads. Oh no, 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 no. It's because it was playing in the BP garage that I just filled up in. Plus, in other news, it looks like we've gone around that big horrible looking cloud, so cha-ching, cash back! This glorious, open, rolling hill landscapes. I've seen so much of what Great Britain has to offer on this trip. A lot of it that I've never seen before. So used to coming up north, and I've even been to Scotland a couple of times in the car, but always just on the motorway, just smash straight up there to get there, and I don't see anything. So making a real point this time of heading back on a slightly roundabout, slightly customised route to try and take in some of these views. Because this is a beautiful country, and I have to be honest, I do miss it a little bit. Something very different about the UK compared to Germany, compared to all of Europe, really. I mean, obviously I'm on the other side of the road for a start, but other than that, just the way the houses look, like these little stone-housed villages. All the lovely dry stone walls, hedges, which we just don't have in Europe, we definitely don't have in Germany. I mean, which of course do have a benefit side to them as well, in that you can see around all the bends and the corners, but it's not good for the small wildlife, is it? And also hedges just look prettier. I think I'm going to try and start A planting of hedges in Germany. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start up a GoFundMe, call it the Hedge Fund. I don't think anybody's ever had a hedge fund before. That could well be the next big thing. AndyManCam's hedge fund. Joking aside, I think this chap ahead of me probably has some kind of a hedge fund, otherwise how on earth would he have a car like that? Bloody hell. BMW 840, that is a weapon and a half. He's got to be a footballer, isn't he? Oh no, it's not personalised plate, can't be. Far too tasteful. 20? I've had farts that move faster than that. That's the thing I really miss from England. The pubs. Proper pubs. You cannot find a pub for love nor money in Germany. Oh, I just keep on turning away from and then turning back towards this precipitational silliness. Maybe I should stop and have a cup of tea and a cake. Wait for it to bugger right off. This road is very freshly sprinkled. So there's a dry patch. Can't be that recent. Very slidey surface. I still stand by my statement when we were in Scotland that the roads up there seem somehow grippier. The surfaces were just that little bit more tractionful. It's not even a word, but I'm going to go with it. Tractionating. Seemed to have a lot more confidence smashing into the corners, whereas up by that bridge there, you could feel the bike slowly sliding to the left. I don't like the sound of that. Apparently in 4.6 miles we're going to be going on to Stony Path. It's not quite the description I would hope for a road to smash a litre bike down. Plenty of those dry stone walls that I like though, eh? Now we're into County Durham. Just like that. The look of the landscape changes, doesn't it? Still rolling and green, but none of the patchwork of fields and stone walls. And it's very, very bumpy. Short second there, I thought the next town slash village was called Warhead. It's a real statement, isn't it? But it's Warehead or Weirhead. Oh no, we're not in Scotland anymore, are we? We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. This is a sneaky little right up the hillside here. Where are you taking me now, you saucy little vixen, leading me up the garden path? What? So this is Stony Path. Thankfully, it's not quite so stony or pathy. Look at the view down the hill though. It's very twisty and slippery looking. It's a damn shizzle. Nothing coming? Let's have it! Oh bloody hell, that's a crest and a half. What a crazy little road. That was a pheasant experience. What's that over there? I think that definitely warrants a quick look. Let's park the bike on this gravelly, nonsensey shite here. Is that going to fall over? Yes, that's going to fall over. Quick look at what's over this edge. Crazy little quarry. Full of sheeps and a wee hut. Oh, and a rabbit. It's got it all. Oh, I see. It's like it's a bit of a dirt bike, quad bike, green laning cut through. That looks awesome. That'd be a great crack, wouldn't it? Jumping down all of this nonsense. Up the hill there. Cool. Very cool. Anyway, we don't have a dirt bike, so let's get on with our road bike, shall we? And there we go, with that little segue done, and that was in no way a surreptitious excuse to have a wee stop. Looks like I've also done some geological sampling with the side stand there. Picked up approximately 8 tons of rock. Oh, I'd love to get out of this supposed lay-by. It's bigger than most of the hills in Hamburg. Plus, I think now my tyres are going to be so caked in crap. Take it easy for a little while. Luckily, the views are quite alright. Look at this. If it wasn't blowing an absolute gale, I would chuck the drone up and give you a proper look at it all. But I fear there would be a very, very real chance of losing it. Because the wind is absolutely smashing across these hills. I mean, it was windy last year when I was flying the Spacht around in the Swiss Alps. But I've got to say, it was nothing on this. I don't think the sheep on these hills need shearing once a year because the wind probably pulls the wool right off their backs. About the wind, of course, is that the roads dry up pretty quickly once they're wet. Well, once the rain stops, of course. I think once again, being here a little bit later in the afternoon, it's now just after 4 o'clock. Perfect time on a Sunday, there's just nobody out. To be fair, I'm a bit surprised I haven't seen more bikes. Maybe that tiny marauding, angry teenager of a cloud that's been through here put everybody off. Ultimately, I don't care. I'm out. I'm on the road. Having a bloody nice time, bloody doing it. Oh my god! Bikers! Somebody to play with! Woo! Doesn't look like they're that much in the playing mood though. So this is Alston, and I guarantee I found some bikers. I'm going to turn off here in a second to the right, and they're going to carry straight on. It's always the way. Ooh, I feel like a rose between two thorns now. Indicating right to stop there. What those integrated taillights, I've got to say, they are the worst idea I think I've ever seen. I barely knew that guy was indicating there. In any case, onwards. You wouldn't catch me with one of those things. As cool as they may look because you get to hide your indicators away, I think I would rather let people know where I intend to go rather than having them guess because the Christmas tree in the middle of the back of my bike is just blinking in a slightly different way. Shame that my playtime was incredibly short-lived because obviously they've reached the end of their day. I'm gonna stop for the pint a bit of shandy. Oh, I want to go up there. Nearly missed it. Pay attention, Andrew. Yeah, we've got 13 miles of this. It's the first sign I've actually seen those, saying that we're in the North Pennines, an area of outstanding natural beauty. I have to say, I wholeheartedly agree. Although, with me around today, it's not exactly an area of outstanding natural peacefulness, is it? It's an area of outstanding man-made roads, that's for damn sure. That's for damn shizzle. Look at that, a couple more bikers. Is it Africa Twin and looks like an FJR for the behind here. FJR 1300 I would wager, doing less than 50 on an open road. But you do what you want, mate. You do you. That's the important thing, isn't it? Got to ride your own ride, go as fast as you want, see the stuff you want to see, enjoy the stuff you want to enjoy. The only thing we can't control is the traffic and the weather. View. Road and river down the way together. Taking a left off here to Kirkby Stephen from Brough, which is where we are. Yeah, a bit early for fish and chips yet. Maybe somewhere around Skipton. In fact, is that getting on for the area where pie and peas is a big deal? Or is that only more around Rochdale? There's another bit where the road is soaking wet. I tell you what, any reputation that I have about being some kind of talisman or omen for bad weather, I think we're going to have to knock it on the head, because we've been in Scotland for 5 days where the weather's been shocking, yet we managed to pick our way around the dry patches. Today there's been rain all over the sky, the roads have constantly been wet, I've just been sprinkled on very lightly, so I think it's quite the opposite. I think I'm a bit of a bringer of dryness, if you will. Doesn't make me very popular with the ladies, but then as a married man that's okay. Well, here we are now in Nateby, and towns are just getting smaller and quainter and stonier. Fills me with joy to still see red phone boxes everywhere, some of them even with phones in them. Look at that. Yes. Just all flavours of yes. It's just spectacular. And you don't even have to go to Scotland for this. Almost, but not quite. Chaps. I did know that this part of the country was going to be beautiful, but I didn't know it was just going to be like this for so long, just continuously amazing. Maybe Germany isn't so great after all. And all the things that I hate about riding in England, it's not really that much of a problem up here, it seems. There is no traffic. To be fair, it's 5:15 on a Sunday afternoon, but still, seen barely anybody for hours and hours. And the riding has been so enjoyable, really don't even feel tired or fed up, or I don't even have a sore ass yet. And I've not got the seat cushion on. Now we're into the county of North Yorkshire, Bayek and Ebagum and all that. Oh, I have the real fear that this is going to be an incredibly long video, but hopefully I'll have no reason to apologise for that. But there's just been so many incredible sights, amazing stretches of road. It's just going to be tough to chop any of this out. It's going to end up being a 4-hour raw, unedited blah of all of this, because a blah is a real thing in video terms. If it isn't, I'm going to make it. Now we're taking a left on the A684 to Hawes, which is actually the town I came through on the way to meet the folks on the way to Scotland. So I've actually, in fact, ridden this road already in the other direction. 22 motorcyclists injured in the last 5 years. It's not very good, is it? Let's try not to add any to that number today, shall we? The road's drying out, so that's counting in my favour already. It's very wet here, isn't it? Opposite. I'm very sorry if you've got a smeary face there, but these road conditions are making it somewhat difficult, both to keep the lens clean and also to keep the bike upright. Very squirmy there. This is a horrible road surface. Could be some of the reason for the 40-mile-an-hour speed limit. This is really greasy and blah. I don't remember it being like this on the way through before, but then again it was dry then. It was dry and it was warm. So the tyres were also dry and very sticky. This is Hawes. Came through here the other day when the trip began. Incidentally, if you haven't seen it, I do implore you to go and watch the Scottish trip. I mean, ultimately, essentially, as part of this actual trip, but, you know, of course I've kept that series on its own together, just to try and be a little bit neater with the packaging of these things. Hawes is quite pretty. If I didn't still have a few miles in me, I might have looked at here for somewhere to stay, but I think I'd rather get some more out of the way to make tomorrow a bit more relaxing for the last stretch. Plus, we've only got 45 minutes, roughly, till we get to the other side of the Yorkshire Dales. Then that'll leave us with the Peak District for tomorrow. Oh, I know I should have overtaken you when I had the chance. We're both going the same bloody way. Maybe you're not going the same way as me now. Maybe you'll be... Oh, bugger, you are. No, you're not. Super smashing great. We're heading off this way. On the A684 to Aysgarth and Leyburn. Seen a Bentley that colour before. Nice motor, mate. Ah, this is more like what I remember from the way down. It's amazing that in a couple of miles the roads are completely dry. We spoke too soon about the traffic as well though, didn't I? Everybody off down the local pub for dinner, which is what I really ought to be doing very soon as well. Nice pie and chips, I think, for probably the 20th time this trip. Look at the rainbow. It's a monster. Whoa, this is new. Didn't go down here the other day. I think it's going to be a windy one. The B6265 to Grassington. Well, actually, saying that, first of all, it's the B6160 to Kettlewell, which, like a fat man playing squash, is a bit damp in the corners. Whoa, another little bit of air there. Now frantically chasing after the last bit of sunlight down the valley there. Seems like we're behind the hills now. I won't tell a lie, I thought the sun was behind us, but it's up there behind that cloud. I don't have to chase it after all. Of course, why would the sun be behind us? We're going south. Absolutely stunning light at this time of the day. Look at the beautiful colours across the hills. Mostly green, still lovely warm sun dappled green. Oh, and a bit of rain, why ever not? Come on, join the party. the wind again. Now that we're back at the top. Back on top at World. Clean your eyeballs off a bit there. Maybe you can see a bit better. Oh, I think second thoughts, I'm getting a bit tired now. About ready to call it a day. It's to the point where I can't really be so bothered to move about on the bike anymore, so a bit lazy in the corners. Come on, let's do it properly for the last little bit. You look down that valley. That's not good, is it? How am I going to get that up? Oh, well, disaster. I just wanted to park here. I've overbalanced off, and the bike is now laying on its friggin' side. Oh, I'm going to have to take all this shit off to get this thing up. Oh, thank you. Well, all I wanted to do was get a bit of drone footage of this lovely scenery. Drop my bike in the it's not even a ditch. Oh, I just went off the edge here. Jesus, that was so stupid. So, damage report that I can see. Scratch the out of engine cover on the side there. Pedal, obviously, doesn't matter. Gear pedal is bent. Gear pedal is now straight again, more or less. Oh, that's disappointing, that is. Oh well. Oh, carbon fibre panel scuffed to that's going to take some polishing, isn't it? Anyway. Oh, and the pannier bracket is also bent, but I can straighten that up. The real question is, will the bike start? Well, ignition works, but it's just been upside down, so I don't think this is going to go. No, dead. Oh, hang on. We're in gear, aren't we? It's not going to start when it's in gear. Oh, there we go. Oh, the bike runs. I'm just going to stand it to the side a little bit. Take my jacket off because I'm sweating my cobs off. Put all the crap back on it. So amazingly, the plastics on the back got nothing. Swing arm got nothing. Oh, there's a bit on my bobbin there, but that's just paid for itself over. But that's very irritating. But I guess without the crash bung there, that would have been probably much worse. But obviously this is a strange situation, because who lays their bike down in the entrance to a friggin' farmer's field? Jesus, guys. Anyway, I'll see you in a minute when we're back on the road. Well then, look at that, the bike is back out. That was disappointing, wasn't it? But we're all loaded up again. Incidentally, still haven't done a little walk around in my gear, but it's not going to happen today, I'm afraid, folks. Very, very lucky that that chap came along when he did. Oh, everything's covered in mud. Mud, mud, mud. Oh, hang on. Gear lever's going to collide with the centre stand at that point. Right, there we go. Left anything there, have I? Tempt fate and come back to this wonderful little area of doom. No, nothing left behind, nothing left behind. All clear behind. Onwards. Get on with it, man. Oh, what a plonker. Can't believe I not only dropped my bike, but I dropped it in such a place that it ended up upside down. How much of a toolbox can you be? Actually, I don't know if I explained how I got the bike out. I was able to wrestle it halfway up, but obviously because of the steepness of that stupid little tarmac overspill into the field, I couldn't get any purchase, and every time I tried to step forward to lift it another step higher, slipped. Couldn't do anything about it. I mean, at first you heard me shouting and swearing. I thought I was going to get trapped because my ankle was under the bike, but managed to get that out without twisting it off. But yeah, so I managed to get the bike halfway up. That was after already wrestling with the handlebar that wanted to hook underneath the fence there. That was brilliant. I really loved that. And then luckily, exactly at that moment, a car came past. I managed to wave the guy down, and amazingly, thank you so much, whoever you are. Didn't get your name, but glad I shook your hand because you saved my friggin' life, mate. Thank you so much for that. I would have been there for the rest of the day trying to heave this bike up. Anyway, that signals to me that it is time to stop for today. So the next available opportunity, I'm going to pull up somewhere, get the phone out, find somewhere to stay for tonight, because that is enough. So with that in mind, and with that very disappointing bombshell of an ending, I would like to thank you kindly for watching this video. I hope some of it has been interesting to you, and for the sadistic members of the audience, I hope you enjoyed that little disaster at the end. But of course, can't be too mad about it, because A, it was my fault, 2, nobody died, and thirdly, the bike still works, so the trip can carry on. If you liked the video, give me a like, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs down. But do leave a comment to tell me why you didn't like it. Of course, you can also leave me a comment to tell me why you did like it. They are still allowed. If you're not already, get yourself subscribed to the channel. Don't forget, I'm going to remind you again to watch the Scotland trip if you haven't seen it. And otherwise, just enjoy riding your bikes. Keep them shiny, try not to drop them into farmers' fields, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra. Look at this. Well, if you can all fly, why don't you just do that? Oh, here's the tough one. Come on, you want some, mate? Come on then. Yeah, not so tough now, are you, mate?